Hey everybody, it's Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T. I'm speaking with Sijara Eubanks, who I really didn't expect to speak to tonight. I thought for sure I'd be talking to you tomorrow for the Ultimate Fighter finale. You had some issues today with your weight cut. You're out of the fight. What happened? Like, what happened? I just talked to you yesterday and everything was cool.
Yeah, everything was rock and roll. I was actually at the PI cutting when I talked to you yesterday. I really just feel like there was some miscalculations. The long answer is, especially in hindsight, after I've talked to some of the doctors at the hospital and some of the staff over at the UFC PI, is I never truly walked around as a flyweight before the tryouts.
Okay.
So going into the house, I was already heavy, and then coming out to the house, I didn't get my body low enough to walk around before camp started. So I knew coming into camp I was gonna have to cut again because I just was still walking around as a bantamweight, and it takes time to get your body reframed, even if it is just 10 pounds. You have to reframe your muscle mass and things like that. So I knew I had 3 tough cuts in the house, and I just was like, all right, we just got one more cut, and I'll take some time off to really reframe and get into a healthy frame for the flyweight division, because I do believe that that's my division and that's where I belong. So I just my body just rebounded real bad from those 3 cuts in the house, and it just couldn't handle making such a drastic cut again.
But you know that people are going to say that you filmed the show a couple months ago, and that they're gonna say that you should have had enough time. So what do you say to that?
Well, to that, when I came out the house, you have to remember what I put my body through in the house. I rebounded pretty bad coming out the house. I was pretty heavy 2 weeks post filming.
Yeah. And
I met with a nutritionist. We did everything we could. And then you got to go straight into camp. Losing weight isn't what you do in camp, really. Most of the time, by the time your camp starts, that's kind of what you're walking around at. You should be in good shape, and you cut towards the end of your camp. So the time that it takes to properly reframe your body 10 pounds takes 8 weeks. And I didn't have 8 weeks. I went straight into camp, and I started camp at 50, and that's what I went to the house at. So I was like, okay, well, we're not that far off. And honestly, I was feeling great. I was the fastest I've ever been this camp. I felt good. My conditioning was good. I ran a lot. I ate clean. I did everything my nutritionist told me to do. I just have been walking around at 155 pounds for so long that my body just wasn't ready.
Yeah, I understand that. And Rashad, to your point there, I was working with Rashad today, who said he saw you training with Mark Henry and everything, and he thought you were looking great. He said, you were looking so sharp. You're really responding to the coaching there. I know obviously you and Mark connected on the Ultimate Fighter too. So Rashad as well was, just upset because he knew you were working hard and getting ready for the fight. Is it a question then, that you are, because you are very powerful, which is obviously why you're able to get knockouts, but is that what you mean? Like you need to sort of maybe be less muscular? How do you want to change your body?
Well, I think it really depends on I think what I need to happen, especially after talking to some doctors and stuff today, is I need to get a full body scan to see exactly how much muscle mass I have, exactly how much body fat I have, exactly how much bone mass I'm carrying, and see what area we can sort of. Obviously, I want to keep as much muscle mass as possible, and when you've been cutting weight for so long, it's easier to flush water out of muscle than it is fat. So just got to see what the balance is, and it's just going to take some true medical evaluation to see. I just think my frame, my size is designed for flyweight. Yeah. And I just when the UFC had the first 2 divisions at strawweight and bantamweight, I knew I wasn't making strawweight, so no. I spent a lot of time.
You have to cut a leg off.
I spent a lot of time lifting weights and carbing up, trying to stay in that bantamweight size. Yeah. And then they call, the internet says, TUF 26 is going to be at flyweight, and I was like, oh, well, hey.
Here we go. Well, but that's the obvious question, and Dana even said it today. Maybe you should be fighting at bantam, but I know you're 5'4", is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, 5'4". And if you think about, let's say, Jessica Andrade, kind of similar, right? Similarly built, very powerful, and she fought at bantamweight, but obviously is more successful lighter. I can't believe she actually could go from bantam to 115. But she's somebody who I think is ideal for 25. I feel like, yes, your body type is right for that. So, what's your response when people say, "Oh, Sarge, just fight at 35 instead"?
That's easy to say. The girls at bantamweight are much larger than me, and they're much taller than me. I'm pretty short for flyweight. Most of the girls I fought in the house were taller than me.
Right.
Now you look at, Holly Holm is fighting at bantamweight. You got the champ Amanda Nunes.
Those girls are my size. I'm 5'8". Those girls are my size.
Yeah, and so it's just different. Like I said, I've never. I just have to get my walk around down to flyweight. And actually, I follow Jessica Andrade's story when she went from bantamweight down to strawweight. If you follow her closely, she took almost a whole year off to reframe her body, working with nutritionists, working with doctors, to reframe her muscle mass and reframe her size and diet for almost a year before she fought at strawweight. And so, like I said, my frame is the flyweight. I just need the time. I was walking around as a bantamweight before the announcement of the show. I did what anybody I think would do with that opportunity, and I did my very best. And I believe I'm a flyweight, and I'm gonna do what I have to do to take the time to get my body into the proper shape to be able to make flyweight easier in the future.
Yeah, because that's what's moving forward gonna be a little bit of an issue. We've seen that with other people who've missed weight on things, and it's that trust factor. Does the UFC want to book you at 25? Because the thing about it now is obviously you were made for the final. You made it to the final, rather. People might think you should get the shot at the champ because you actually earned it, but then other people might argue, well, she didn't make weight. She's not, holding up to the professional standard, and she doesn't deserve it. So, what do you think you can do to prove to the UFC that you can make it and that you should get your title shot?
I think the only thing I can prove is to make it.
Yeah,
and
just do it, right.
I think I should work more with the guys at the UFC PI. So I'm working directly in the company to make sure that they're fully informed on my day-to-day nutrition, on my day-to-day medical updates. Whatever I have to do, I'll hop on a scale every morning and send somebody a photo of it. I believe
God, that's a nightmare. That's like my nightmare. Oh my God. One of the things we were talking about today is the whole idea of you working with the PI. And I know on the show you went over there and it made things so different and so easy, so much easier for you. That last cut seemed to be better for you on the show. But then, today when I was talking to Bisping and Rashad, and we were talking about some things like, you had made weight before. It wasn't pretty. You always got it done. And now you're quote unquote doing it the right way scientifically. And there's issues. Do you know what I mean? So they were saying, sometimes medical people, sometimes professionals can get in the way of what you guys just do as wrestlers, as fighters, whatever, who just need to get to their weight. And they can do it, maybe not the right way, the healthy way, but they make it,
Yeah, and it makes total sense. And, I kind of grappled with that as well. Like, I was sort of doing my little piece of meal, putting things together and grinding it out and getting it off one way or the other. And, less than a day after, I just got out of the hospital a couple of hours ago and you got an IV in you for your kidneys almost shutting down. It's a lot of things start to play in your head. Yeah. Could I have done this differently, and could I have done that differently, and et cetera? Maybe I should have done it this way or that way, or however it was. It was unfortunate that, I wasn't able to even get to the scale before they pulled the plug on me. But I think, I hear their point that sometimes, the professionals and stuff can get in the way, but I don't regret anything that I did leading up to this point. I don't regret anything I did in the house or anything in the camp. I did what I felt was best. I did make the weight in the house, but it was rough, and I wanted to try to make it easier. And I know I can make it easier. I just have to find the right pieces to put together to make that happen, and it'll happen.
Yeah, the other question is, in the house, because it is such an intense period of time, it's all about fighting, it's only about fighting, that you're maybe in the mindset more of being able to make those sacrifices and those hard cuts. And whereas now you're at home, you're out of that environment, and there's more distractions. There's more that plays on you when you're trying to be focused and cut weight. So would any of that factor into this at all? I mean, you've got a young baby. It's different. And also, as the show plays out, you're hearing, oh man, Sarge just wrecked this girl. Sarge is Sarge is going to get it. And there's just so much more noise.
Yeah. It's definitely an adjustment. This show has sent me from 0 to 60 as far as just in the MMA space and how many people know me now. And it can be. Yeah, it can be a little distracting. I mean, everything, I kind of was sitting down, a week or two ago, and was like, everything in my life is nothing how it was even 4 months ago. Forget a year ago. I'm at a whole new camp. I've got a baby. I just came off the Ultimate Fighter. I just fought, a whole bunch of really tough
1, 4, and 5, baby. 1, 4, 5. I can't even count, right?
I got a knockout, a submission, and fight of the season, and it's just I have an opportunity to fight for the title. It's just everything. Just my whole life got turned upside down, and not in a bad way. I thought it was fantastic. I'm truly blessed, and like I said, I don't regret anything. I don't. I've been truly blessed. I am blessed. But yeah, in hindsight, I might have been a little distracted. I living in New York for the first time, training in Jersey for the first time, everything new, and I just might not have calculated, everything properly. Just having all these new factors lined up. Yeah. Obviously something slipped through the cracks.
I mean, it's a learning experience, and I said this today on the weigh-in show. The guys were, pretty critical. They're professional. They're like, hey, look, that's job one. You got to get there and do that. But it is still early-ish in your career, though. So, you can learn a lot from this experience. I would hope. But that's it sucks, man. It sucks.
Yeah, tell me about. I'm ripped to shreds. I'm hurt, man. Really hurt about the way it is. I like to carry myself as a professional.
Yeah.
I the first time ever in my amateur MMA career that I haven't made weight in MMA, and it's tough.
Yeah.
That's why I don't make any excuses. I'm not gonna point any fingers. I didn't make it. I really tried. I didn't want to be pulled. Yeah. But just the fact of the matter is, I was, and after it actually, I don't know how this sounds, but just the fact that my kidneys did fail made me feel better, because I was like, there was something wrong with me.
Right. I did everything I could. And that's the thing. And like you said, it comes to the point where other people step in. Like you said, you would have probably dragged, your ass up there, shaved the rest of your head or whatever. I really do believe that you would have done whatever you could do to get there. But it comes to a point where other people step in and they just don't allow it.
Yeah. Because the thing also, too, about these extreme weight cuts, when they go right, no one says anything. Oh, that was by the skin of her teeth, but she made it. That was great. When they go wrong, everyone's a critic. One wants to tell you how it happened or why it happened or you've done this, that, and the other. But, weight cutting's a thing in MMA. This is what it is. And, I just made a terrible mistake with this one. It hurts. But, I'm a fighter. I'm a champion. I believe that my time is due. My time will come, and I'll climb my way back up to the top, and I'll get what's mine for sure.
Well, obviously, Nico is a challenging fighter. She's got great kicks. I feel like she really uses her size very well. She's a powerful woman as well. Now that she's facing Roxy, now that you get to be the analyst, so I don't know how you think this fight is going to play out, or if you have a desire to see one over the other. Like, how do you feel about the two girls that are actually fighting for it now?
Respect to both those ladies. Both of them have been really swell. Roxanne's an awesome girl. Nico's awesome. Actually cut a couple of pounds with her together at the PI before the plug got pulled on me. I just want to see a good fight, and best wishes to both of them. I haven't picked a favorite. I don't have a preference. I just hate to be selfish, but I'm kind of focused on what I have to do to get back to the top. Yeah. Only a day out. Fight hasn't even happened yet, so whoever executes and whoever can, obviously this is a change for the both of them, both different fighters. So, they have a day or two to sort of reframe and the funny thing, the ironic thing about having a brand new opponent a day out is now you just really got to be your best you. Right. Kind of out the window. You kind of just got to be like, all right, I'm a fight. So Nico's does have good kicks. Roxanne's really tricky. I got a chance to fight Roxanne. It was a good fight. So I think this fight will go the distance, though. I will say that.
And one last thing I want to ask you about is Lauren. Lauren is now on the card. She's fighting Barb. When you guys were on the show and you were having a hard time cutting weight, one of the times Lauren was kind of circling, as were many of the other girls, trying to get that opportunity. And she's made no bones about saying, she's there for herself, which I believe, all of you really are. And I feel that is the right mindset for the show. But that was something that was a little strange. But in the end, her point is proven right of staying ready in there, and I'm just curious what your take is on that whole situation, because she really caught a lot of grief on the show for that, but she turned out to sort of have a point.
Yeah, she maybe got to dot a little feather in her cap for that one today. Everyone made it except for me, and I think Karyn. Yeah. So. My whole problem with Lauren in the house was the way she went about it. Okay. I just felt like at the time in the scenario, it was my gym time, it was my sauna, and I should have been allowed to cut in private for myself. And I told her in the house, I told her then, if you want to cut somewhere else, feel free. And you want to stay ready, feel free. I just felt like she kind of smiled in my face quite a bit and then turned around and flocked around the kitchen. My thing is, like, if you're gonna flock and be, I think you should be like that 24/7. So I think it was kind of misinterpreted that I was mad at her for cutting. I'm not mad at you for cutting. I'm mad at you the way that you did it in that particular scenario. I actually ran into Lauren in the sauna for these fights, just weekend. And I hopped in. I said, well, now it's a public sauna. We can all hang out in here now.
Nice.
And I thought it was funny or not. She has a little feather in her cap. I don't hate on nobody, man. So, I'm glad Barb's a good friend of mine. I'm glad she still has a chance to fight tonight. Lauren has her chance to fight. Her fight got pulled. So,
right.
Like I said, I still don't like the way she handled herself in the house. And, I think she was a little deceptive in how she would speak to me face to face and then how it turned out on camera. But at the end of the day, she's fighting tomorrow, so
yeah. And to be fair, I agree with you that should have been your sauna time. You know what I mean? But I agree with the concept of being ready, staying ready. But I agree with the concept too that was your time. Yeah. So the next step for you then is are you going to the fights tomorrow? Are you going to be there, or do you just want to go home and get out of town? Where do you stand sort of mentally and physically now in literally in the next couple days?
Yeah, you caught me at a good time because I literally got out the hospital a couple of hours ago. I'm still here in Vegas. I'll probably go to the fights tomorrow, especially because Deanna's fighting, and my coaches Mark Henry and Jamal Patterson will be there. Cody, so I definitely want to be there to support Deanna, and I have a lot of other good friends on the card. Whom I want to support, and I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I talked to my mom, and she was like, "Homegirl, put your outfit on, go sit in that crowd, and you watch them fight your head up." So,
good. Moms always know what's up,
Yeah. So I really honestly wouldn't feel right just fleeing town.
Yeah.
I did, like I said, I did my best. It'd be different if I just quit and I can't do it anymore. I did. I put every ounce of my body into that cut, and my body literally, shut down. So I have no shame in what happened. It's disappointing. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. So more than likely I'll be at the fights tomorrow.
Nice. Well, awesome. Well, the good thing is that we know that the next time that we see you, you'll have evolved even more. Gives you even more time to sharpen those skills, to work your codes out with Mark.
Since they were shown on TV.
Oh yeah, so, no, right now you need.
Sign. Y'all gave some codes out. We gotta scratch and make whole new codes.
For sure, for sure. Well, this is the thing. I know, and you said this earlier. You got your name out. The show has given you some great exposure, and even though this is a little bump in the road, I feel like you made so many fans, and I feel like you represented yourself so well in the show with the way you fought. So I really do feel like people are going to be looking forward to seeing you get your chance when that does come.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Karyn, and it has. I'm truly blessed, and I'm truly thankful for everything up until this point. And like a true fighter, like a true warrior, I'm not gonna give up on my goals. So my goal is to be that UFC champ. I'm gonna get that strap. It didn't happen weekend, but it will happen.
Awesome. All right, Sarge. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today. I hope you did. They tell you like have a beard? That helps, right? No,
no, we do not. I actually asked to get released a little early because they want me overnight, and I was like, nah, let me out of here. I was like, a couple of kidneys, I got a few bags, I'm good to go.
Nice. Awesome. All right, well, enjoy yourself tomorrow. Again, I'm sorry I won't be seeing you in the championship, but I know we'll be seeing you again. So thanks, Sergeant. Best of luck.
Thank you so much. You have a good one.